You were born in the afternoon, I remember that.
I was. You know what time?
I want to say like Betty Small had come on, the shifts had changed and she was pregnant. And I remember thinking, how is she ever going to take care of me? She's pregnant. So it had to be like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I think, if I remember correctly.
I thought that I was born 9 something in the evening.
Al was.
Oh.
I almost think, but I could be wrong, Tom.
No,
We'll have to look it up. Dad's got it written down.
Put them on the back of the pictures.
Yeah.
TV pictures.
So at that time when he was born, where were you guys living? You're still living down on Howell Street, or you Carlo?
Carlo? No,
We're still at Carlo.
East Washington.
Yeah.
Carl was born in East Washington.
And so was Michael.
Yeah. And then you were born.
Carol was on East Morris. Al was on
Howell.
Howell. And the babe and Michael were on East Washington. And you were born on
East Morris.
East Morris.
So what was Mike's birth like? Do you remember any of that?
I don't remember that it was...
the only one that we were worried about, well, Dr. Smith had told me that Al had been reversed.
Oh,
Yeah.
And he had to manipulate and turn him around. And he was so proud that he did it. So he got a normal delivery out of it.
yeah. That's a big deal back then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then one of the other kids started to turn, and he turned it, but not as bad as Al. And I can't remember if it was you or Mike now. I don't remember now. But he was very proud of what he did with Al. At one thing, Al was a big baby,
Yeah.
too.
Did it take you a while to
I can't
deliver
remember
him?
that delivery was so bad. I can't remember that it was.
or Carlo?
No, I think Carlo probably was the easiest. Because
Carol
Carlo
was the
was
hardest.
8, 9, yeah.
Well,
Carlo,
first kid is always hard.
Carol,
No, it was just that the damn nurses weren't doing what they were supposed to
first
do.
birth is always tougher, they say, anyway.
Now, Mom,
It
they
is.
didn't teach you like we went to
No.
these Lamaze classes and any of that, right? You just
No,
went in there
None of that, nothing. You go in blind.
and you go and just letting it
Yeah.
go.
Let nature take its course.
Did they give you painkillers or anything?
They didn't
They
believe
give
in
you nothing.
painkillers, and now they give them what? They give you painkiller, epidermal or something or
if
other,
you want
yeah,
it,
to
yeah,
help you.
but,
They don't,
you know, they're
nothing,
optional.
never. No.
So, okay, so we're at Carlo, and then there was a miscarriage, right?
Yeah.
How far along were you? on that?
About 2.5 months. Just, it wasn't quite 3 months.
Yeah, your mother had a guilt complex.
Oh,
She
you always,
said, I did something wrong. I said, you didn't do anything
you
wrong.
always have a guilt complex when you have a miscarriage.
You still feel like that?
No, I guess not. As I become older and realize it's a normal process, if there's a reason that it
Yeah, it's
happens.
God's will.
I feel there was a reason that it happened.
Hmm.
And of course, I wasn't far enough along with that one to know what it was, but the
Right.
last one we knew it was a girl. And they asked me, I asked them, and they said, do you really want to know? Because I was further along with the one after you were born. And yes, I did, and they told me it was a girl. But that
How
was,
far along was she?
I must have been about 4 months, a little over, probably.
The baby was formed.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can still feel it.
And I thought, but I didn't know. Couldn't tell,
Yeah.
the sex. And then all the troubles began with hemorrhaging and stuff, and that's why I had to have a hysterectomy at age 35. I had fibroid tumor, and it just got progressively worse.
Yeah, they aren't getting better.
They are if you're older and you're closer to menopause, they'll shrink.
Right.
But I was not close to menopause. I probably could have had 5 more kids in 5 years.
Did you want more?
I wouldn't have cared, I don't think, but I don't think that we were financially set for it to have more children. But I guess we felt if it was meant to be, it'd be, I guess.
Well, Father O'Malley, Dr. Sanford wanted to try another pregnancy, and Father O'Malley wanted us to try another one. And I told Father, I said, so if you guarantee me that I was going to come out all right.
Yeah, 5 kids.
But that's when he just knew that there was no way that I was going to go with it, and that's what he told us. He says, you're right. He says, you have 5 children now.
Was this a big deal for the church?
For the church.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, why was that?
We went to Dr. Smith, Dr. Father O'Malley, and Dr. Sanford said that, you've got to have a hysterectomy. That tumor is big. And we knew that was against the church. We went to, and he said, I've got to think it over. And then he came to the house. And he said, well, Lila, I've been seeing, he used to go walk by the house and stop and talk to you kids and stuff. I was thinking, you haven't been looking good to me. So I have to believe that your condition is not so that you can possibly have another child. Because I guess he realized I was hemorrhaging every month, which I would. If I had my period and I went to get up, could forget it for the first 2 or 3 days. And then I was having so much pain, I'd have to call Dad home. They put me on Demerol, and I would be knocked out, and I had to do 5 kids.
Yeah, right.
I couldn't. I'd have to call Dad to come home so I could get over it. It would take 2 or 3 days for that pain to stop from the tumor.
Wow.
And so that's when I had the hysterectomy.
So how long did Father really think about it?
I don't think he took more than a week or so, and he thought about it, and he came back, and he said, and like he said to Dad, you've got 5 children.
What was the big deal for the church?
They wanted you to produce.
Well,
it's like the form of birth control.
Yeah, that's true.
When you think about it, Tom, it's a form of birth control.
The church just says, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Yeah.
It's a form of birth control.
But you're not supposed to, like your mother says, that's the way of having a birth control type deal.
So what do you think you would have done had he said, you gotta just hang in there?
We don't know.
I don't know.
Did you guys do
Well, probably
for one thing,
we were probably too, what do I want to say? Too dumb to know that I could die. I could hemorrhage from it. I could just continue to lose blood. After I had that first miscarriage, I had 5 pints of blood. I had to have 5 things of blood because I had lost so much blood with the miscarriage. Another pregnancy might have been worse. Who knows?
Well, the way Dr. Sanford said, we could try another pregnancy to see. A lot of times that eliminates the fibroid tumor. But he couldn't guarantee it. And on top of that is that it could very well be you could have one miscarriage after another.
Yeah.
That's probably why I missed.
And that's when
that's probably why I miscarried the last time, because that tumor, that's what he said, the tumor was, probably there.
Well, that turned out to be a good thing, if it prolonged your life. So in these last couple of minutes, so we're at about 1956 when I was born.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what were those first 4 or 5 years like? Everybody's at home, right? Your Carol's in kindergarten.
Wonderful.
I mean, what were your days like?
Wonderful years. I can't remember when Carol started school. It's all very vague to me. but I'm sure it was very sad. All I can remember is when Carol went to college. To me, I think that was the saddest part. I can remember I used to have to turn her picture away because I'd start weeping. But I can't remember going to school. I thought that was a great experience. Oh, I used to watch her walk down the street.
Because she had to walk to Dana Lyons.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, she walked downtown.
Yeah. And, but...
And we didn't have to worry too much because you only had that one street intervening.
Yeah, right.
Was it McMaster or
no, it's Purdy.
No, it's the one...
it's Rumsey. It's Rumsey
Is that
Street,
Rumsey?
isn't it? Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the only
Yeah,
street
it's Rumsey.
that she had to cross. After that was...
I took her the first few days. Seemed to me you took time off from work.
The first
And
day.
I took her the first 2 or 3 days. And then
She had to
after
walk
that-
through downtown, didn't she?
No. We lived on 143 East Washington.
Oh, so I wasn't born yet.
No.
No.
Oh, okay. Yes, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't have had...
Yeah, and then when
She'd
Al
probably
went
go.
to kindergarten, he went to the church. Didn't he go to one of the churches?
I think so.
One of the kids did. And
Well, Michael went to church because Mrs.
Cuffney, no.
No.
Oh, I know. Oh, I can't think what her name was. And there was 5 Michaels, and she wanted us to change. She didn't want us to
Mitchell.
call him Michael.
Mitchell.
Yeah, she didn't want us to call him Michael. She wanted us to call him Mike, and we said, no way, he's Michael. Because there was 5 Michaels in his class. That was the big name that year.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Uh,
I said, I'm not changing. He's not gonna be Michael. And I
it
still
was
call him Michael most
It was
of the
Michael Stitt and
Oh, there was
Cauliflower.
one, and there was that Irish, what was their name? God, there was tons of them.
It was Mike
Michael
Cauliflower.
Hudinsky.
Mike Cauliflower.
Yeah, and
Stitt,
Michael
Stitt,
Hudinsky.
and
Mike
and
Hudinsky.
Mike.
There was a Michael Fino, right?
Well, it's not
There
Fino,
might have
is
been 7 of them because
There
there
were a
was that
bunch.
other
There were more than 5.
Irish
And,
family. The father died. They had 5 kids. That Michael, I can't remember. There were several.
And Mike Wilcox.
Yeah.
Wilcox.
Really?
Yeah, there were a bunch in Mike's class. But after, so when I was born, Carol was in what, 2nd grade, or what grade did she?
Well, she was born in 48, so you were in 56.
She was 8
She was
when I was
8.
born,
Yeah.
which would put you in third grade. Al would have been in 2nd grade, and Carl was in kindergarten.
Well, see, yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. And I used to put you in the, Carl used to be afraid to cross East Gunn Street, and there was a florist shop. In fact, Mrs. Shealy just died this past
Where the
week.
hotel is.
Yeah, but
Oh,
the
really?
National Hotel.
Used to
And
be
he
a
used
flower
to be,
shop.
I used to walk him for a short time to school and meet him, and then it got to be too much because I still
Yeah,
had
right, you had
June
me and
home
Mike around.
and Mike home. And so he used to walk back and forth at Mrs. Shealy's florist shop, and we never knew it, and she came out and would cross him every time.
Oh,
And we
really?
never knew it for years, she
And the
told
babe
us.
never
And he
told us?
never told us. And he used to just walk back and forth until she'd come out and cross him. And I just read in the paper where she died in Florida, 80-some years old.
Oh,
You
really?
probably don't remember the florist shop on the corner there where the hotel is. It's Burr Shealy's.
Well,
Shealy's florist shop.
The hotel was
not
there.
where it is now. It's where the Bath florist is. Because
No,
of Shealy's.
no,
Shealy's was,
where the
the
National
hotel
Hotel
was
is.
there, but where they have,
But
the-
Carla,
the-
it did move to where that florist shop is downtown.
I know.
Yeah,
what,
but that, not when
at that
Carla
time,
was
yeah.
young, yeah.
But that's where there's
That was the
another
original.
dining area there that abuts the
Yeah.
hotel, at part and parcel of the hotel. And that's where Shealy's were, then they moved down to where that
And Liberty
one is
Street.
now.
So, Mom, what'd you do when Carol was not in school? So you really would have had Carol, Al, and Carlo. What were your days like? I mean, what'd you do all day?
Busy.
Busy.
But you know, you get numb. You don't know any better. But you know, it was a wonderful time in many ways because all of our friends, the Ledekis had young kids, the Sprockets had young kids, and when we lived on East Washington Street, no, East Moore Street, we had 2 or 3 old ladies, including Mrs. Kennedy, that we rented from for years,
Yeah.
and a lady that worked in the bakery, and another older lady, and when they had birthdays, us mothers used to get together, bake a cake, take all you kids to their parties, and do those wonderful things that were so much fun. And you found time for that. I'm not sure that we found enough time to do things with you kids like you do now. The games you play all the time, and
There was no-
you think differently. I wished I had spent more time with you kids when you were younger, and I didn't work, so I had no excuse.
Well,
I
what did
feel-
you do? I mean, we were all in the house. I
Yeah.
mean, what did you?
And
what
we
you
always had a
expected to
house
do?
full of kids.
She's
We always
forgetting she didn't have all the
We don't have all
receiving
that stuff.
devices.
Yeah, right.
The dishwasher and the dryer and the washer and all like that.
But and I wondered, you know, did I spend too much time cleaning and not take enough time to be with you kids and show you that we loved you? And I just wondered.
I don't think any of us, Mom, would doubt that you guys loved us.
I hope that you
Yeah,
guys
I
never
speak
thought
for
that.
all of us. That is not something that you should even think about.
I think about it a
I
lot.
mean, why?
Because I see the relationship, it seems to me you kids have a different relationship with your children than we had with you.
Because the times are different.
Is that
I
what
mean,
it
you also
is?
got to remember, well, I can only speak for me, but, dropping your kids off every day at somebody else's house, it has made me take that time with them is much more precious. You know, that was one of the most difficult things to do on a day in, day out basis. So your time's different. At home, the stay-at-home moms do now exactly what you did. You know, they spend time with their kids. They still have to wash clothes and clean the house. I mean, you can't spend 100% of your time. So you really shouldn't think like that because that's true.
Sometimes I get to thinking, I think, well, now Carol was a Girl Scout, and I can remember I used to have to hire a babysitter to go with the meetings with her, and I used to hold her hand, and we'd walk down the street. And I think back now, how did I have the money to pay a babysitter? Probably 25 cents an hour, because we never had much money. And I do think of that, and I think, well, I was a den mother for 7 years, and we used to drag, I used to drag all you kids. That's why Mike wouldn't have any part of ever being a scout. He got so tired of going to the meetings. And I used to go to the meetings at night at the Presbyterian Church with the scouts. And I'd have to go to a meeting once a month at night because I was the leader. And at that time, they told you what to do with your troop for the month. They gave you criteria, more or less, you know, what you had to do. And but I don't know. I always felt when you kids were younger that we didn't deserve to have you kids because we couldn't give you enough. We didn't have the money to do with.
Like what?
I can remember going on picnics with the Ledekis, and they would have the better desserts, and you kids used to look at them, and Stella used to say, "Would you kids like some?" And
Mom, I'd be shocked if any of us remember that. I'd be shocked if any. I don't remember that. That's not, that's not, that's not what it's about. You know, all those things, Mom, are just the stuff either did not matter to us. What matters to us that we came home and we knew that we were loved. That's all that matters to any kid. You talk to my kids and it's the same. You talk to any kid. It's not stuff. It's not having desserts at a picnic. None of that matters. You know,
We always
it didn't matter that, you know, what the house looked like.
Well, I always felt that maybe the house was decent, but, you know, there was a lot of things that we couldn't do for your kids. I can never realize that Al, when he went to college, he used to have just a hot dog for lunch, wished he had more, because we didn't have the money to give him for more. That was when he was going to Corning. He made the remark one day, and I think, you know, I can't remember how it turned out, that he made the remark that he could have French fries or a hot dog. Because we gave him, I think, his ride money and money for his lunch, and it wasn't much. And, you know, Al was always a big eater and a hot dog lover.
You couldn't have given him
And
enough
he
money.
made the remark, I wasn't hungry, but, you know, I'm sure he wished
Sure.
that he could have had more. And I think of those things, you know, I think now, gee, you can always find more money for them to eat with.
Well, I always felt good when they came home and there was something for them to eat.
There was always something on the table, and there was
Well,
plenty to eat.
No, you kids would come in and right after school you'd want something to eat, and there was always something there, crackers or something.
Crackers mostly.
And no, I never had anything like that.
Yeah, so it was a step up
And
from what
so to
you guys
me
had.
it was a step up, and I just felt good that there was something there, and that you kids enjoyed. It wasn't something that you had to have because you were hungry. It was just something that you enjoyed eating.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, well, we're going to stop there.
I guess we about did it, didn't we? I'm sure that all of you kids, if you went to college, wish you had more money than we could give you when you went to college for different things that you wanted to do, clothes maybe you wanted to buy.
Not in my case. Yeah, first year, you know, you're a little hungry, but that was about it.
Now, why were you hungry?
Well, it's because we had that ratty meal plan. We had only so much food, and I had only taken out so much loan money, and there wasn't enough. I remember kids who just ate a lot and just went through their year's worth of meal coupons in 2 months. You know, we had a bad meal plan, but in any event, I want to go back to. So we get down. So we're now at probably at about the 60s, early 60s. Right. So I'm probably going to school. And what do you remember from those times? I remember my first day of school.
You remember your first days when?
Of school. I remember walking over there.
You remember walking to St. Mary?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. I remember some kid just crying his eyes out. I don't know.
I must have walked you to St. Mary's. You had Mrs. Cuffman.
Right.
Yeah. And I can't remember. I volunteered some at St. Mary's. I probably was happy to have you in school, but I don't remember much about. Did you go all day or you went half day?
I think we went half day because I used to go with Bud Mifflin. And we were in the afternoons, I'm almost certain.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you were. And I didn't like it because I had to put a uniform, get you dressed to play, and then dress you again in uniform. and you had to wear a uniform, and I remember thinking, oh, it would be so much easier to get you dressed in the morning and send you, and then come home, and then you play. But I guess I just kept busy and didn't have much of a reaction. I don't remember that I did.
What do you remember from all that, from those eras, Dad? After I
don't
was
remember
born,
that much because
right into the...
I was been busy working, and so that I was off to work before you went to school, and then your mother took over on that. Well, being when I came home from work, and she would be relating to different things that have happened during that day.
Yeah.
And so she'd also have you right around the dinner table, and you'd go round robin on there, how your school time went, and she would remind you in case you forgot some little item. And that was a nice thing about her being home, that you youngsters came home, and you related all these things to her, then you went outside and played a little bit. And when it came time for dinner, well, you asked whatever happened at school, and you'd all have blank looks on your face. And she would remind you about this, that, the other thing. And we always tried to keep it up in that way.
It's family time. Dinner time was the time for you kids to talk as to what went on in school. Do you remember that we made you stay at the table for a while? Because that was the only time we'd have together, because TV had come along and homework.
Yeah.
And we didn't allow the TV on. Your mother and I had talked it over and decided that TV would stay off because that was dinner time. That was not a time where you just take your meal and sit in front of the TV. To me, it was that this way you enjoyed your dinner. The other way you ate and you forgot even what you ate because TV was so engrossing.
Then we gave you kids each a week. You took a week at a time, do you remember, to watch what you wanted? When you were younger, you kind of watched the same programs. But
what did we watch?
As you grew older, you had to take a week and watch what you wanted if you were lucky, and Al let you.
yeah, that's right. What did we watch? I remember watching Ed Sullivan.
The talent show. And, well, Al got into MASH, but that was when he was older.
No, that's long after this.
Yeah.
That's the 70s.
But I can't remember when you were younger, it was...
Ed Sullivan was Sunday nights.
Yeah.
Along with the Twilight Zone.
Probably, yeah.
Batman.
Yeah, now you're mentioning names that come back. And one of the big highlights of our times together would be Dad always made you popcorn on Friday night.
Right.
And you always invited Bud Mifflin over. Sometimes I would go shopping with Mildred Miller because we didn't have a car, and she would take me by car. And Dad would take your kids and make you popcorn and watch TV. And we bought soft drinks. That was a big, that was a big thrill of Friday nights. And I think, and then we used to always go for a walk when you guys were younger. We used to put you in.